are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Danny's going to be one of our 32 authors at the Holiday Book Festival coming up on November 30th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Kensington Mill Falls events in Milford, Michigan. So, yay. So excited about that. Um, so you have two books that you're going to be bringing?
I have one and potentially two. So
Okay.
the one that I have right now is volume one. The one that is in works, which I do anticipate will be completed and available by the time we give our presentation, is volume two. And then there will be a volume three after that. So, yeah.
Awesome. Volume
Mhm.
3. Tell us about this book, and I'm going to bring up the book cover.
Okay.
There we go. There. Tell us about your book.
Well, Written Right Communications, Words of Wisdom and Weird is a journal / poetry book. And it's a compilation of several poems that I've written. But prior to the poem, most of the poems have an introduction to the poem, and then you will have the poem, and then you have the opportunity to write in the journal that's provided as well.
Oh,
And the intent well, the reason I went to writing the poetry / journal is to not only make things more personable. So we're not using a keyboard per se, but we're using an actual pen and or pencil,
mm-hmm.
and we're writing in the journal of our very own. But to also help people understand that they're not alone, and that was my main intent. So a lot of the poems are focused around healing. They're focused around challenges that we all face. I have a poem as an example called "Rooted in Recovery," and that's where we're at. I wanted to be able to get my poetry out there to help people and give them the opportunity to engage as well, however they see fit.
So, what else do you? So, you write poetry, and
Mm-hmm.
you've got this book, and you've got book 2 coming out, and a book 3. Um, do you write more than just poetry? What other
I,
areas do you write in?
I do actually. Right now, I'm more self-help focused, and like I said, helping people to understand that they're not alone. But I also have in the works, and it is at the beginning stages. But I am developing a novel, and
Oh,
yep, and it's called The Castle of Chaos and Calm, and
awesome.
and it I don't want to, I don't want to give a whole lot away, but it basically goes into the roots of our experiences, our reactions, our relationships, and so on and so forth. There'll be a little bit of poetry in the book
Hmm.
itself, um, but it's all about acceptance and acknowledgement and connection, but in the form of a longer story versus a poem. And then I also do greeting cards, and I also have some of my poetry on posters as an example. So if somebody likes the poem, if it means something to them, they could hang it on their wall. So,
Awesome. So we
yeah,
have art, we have books, we have a novel in the works. Do you know what genre that novel will fall into?
I really don't. I
Okay.
don't right now. Still getting it together and still learning. It's going to have everything. It's going to have magic. It's going to have drama. It's going to have heartfelt conversations. It's going to have the good guy, the bad guy. I'm an empath, and if you've ever heard of an INFJ, I'm that as well. And so that's why it's gonna have a whole lot of things. So
Oh, I know how that goes.
Yep.
I have a book that I'm in the process of writing, and it's like, what genre? I have no idea.
Yep. You call it what you want.
I'll,
I think that
I'll ask my editor once I get there.
y- yeah, the Castle of Chaos and Calm kind of explains it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you know, it's hard to explain yet. Like I said, I'm at the beginning stages of it, but you know, in a castle, you have a foundation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And outside of that foundation, you have land. But the grass isn't always so green, and the trees might be, you know, one might be cut down, one might be smaller than the rest, and you go over the bridge, but the bridge is crookedy. Once you get on it, you realize it's not as stable as you thought. And when you get into that castle and you're on the foundation, you're going to start to see cracks in the walls, and you're going to have a set of keys, and those keys are going to open different doors. The one door might open to resilience, the one door might open to loss, the one door might open to um, regret, you know. And if you open up that door, you might be looking in the mirror that you didn't want to look into. And so that's kind of what I'm putting together. So
Very cool. Your bio, as I look over at it on my other screen, says that you're a mom to four teenagers.
yes, ma'am.
Craziness. And a project manager. Well,
Yes.
depending on what projects you're managing, that can be like herding cats.
It really, yes. I and that's a good way to think about it. Like I need to project manage the characters. Um Project management can be, depending, very complex,
Mhm.
and each thing links to the next and impacts the next. And so I like your point of view. That's the characters. They're all going to have an impact on one another. That is for certain.
Mhm.
Um, and my hope, you know, is that the poetry journal that we're going to have, version 1 or version 1 and 2 at the event, will have an impact as
Mhm.
well, a good impact on people. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So, how far are you into this novel? Are you still at the writing stages?
I'm still at the beginning stages.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The very beginning character development. I have, I think a very mentioned foundation again. I have a very good foundation for it. I have, actually, and maybe I'll share it with you, not on this call, but another time. It's a poem. It's a poem that
Mhm.
introduces the Castle of Chaos and Calm, and
Nice.
it'll give you a much better idea, kind of what's going on. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, are you a plotter or are you more of a pantser where you just write by the seat of your pants?
I'm both.
Okay.
I'm both. I try to put myself in the mindset of the character.
Mhm.
And so I'll be writing by the seat of my pants, I guess,
Mhm.
in reference to they themselves. And then I'll be plotting out the impact that they're going to have on the next, or the impact that that person over there might have on them, or the situation at hand, and so on and so forth.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, you are going to be reading out of Words of Wisdom and Weird at the event. And this book cover is also in the book cover contest.
Yay.
I absolutely, it honestly, the book cover contest is one of my favorite things. Um, just to see how everybody has, that crew that backs them up and comes in and votes, and it's like people are like, wait, someone voted for my book cover. And the best compliment I ever see is when somebody votes that you don't know who they are.
Oh, nice.
When you don't know, oh, who's that? Oh, someone voted for my cover and I don't know them. To me, it's like a validation of, ooh, they liked it.
Yeah. It's kind of like a secretive way of getting feedback.
Yeah. So, is this going to be your first event that you've done?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I've done
Awesome.
several events with my greeting cards and my
Hmm.
my posters that have the poems on them. But as far as a book is concerned, you're it.
Awesome.
So
I can't
yeah.
wait. We'll be anxiously awaiting and can't wait to see that. And this interview will be coming out sometime in October-ish.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how that timing's going to be. So, um
You're gonna find the word ish in my book, by the way.
I love it.
Yeah. That's definitely a thing that I use quite often, and there's good reason behind it. So
Well, and as we find out as we go along, things aren't quite so black and white. There's a lot of gray area in things.
that's it. That's absolutely it. How are you doing? Ish. Yep.
Well, this has been great. I look forward to seeing you in November in person.
Yep.
That'll be so great. Thank you for joining me.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
See you in November.
All right, we'll chat at you then. Thanks.